center field, number 22, Drew Lord. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 28, Carson Butler. Hitting eighth at third base, number 10, Trey Schilling. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 12, Austin Lucas. The starting pitcher is from Beloit, number 7, Caden Rose. Catcher, number 11, Will Hovel. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 13, Max Willie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Corn Crib here in Normal, Illinois. It is Game 2 of today, but between these two teams, Game 1 of the KCL playoffs. It's going to be the BlueCaps versus the BobCats. The BobCats come to this playoff game with the 1 seed, 13-8 on the year, and the BlueCaps, the last place BlueCaps, 8-14. But as we know, I'm Braden Hartman along with Taylor Hammer. Anything can happen here in the KCL League.
Yeah, and both these teams, surprisingly, the Bobcats are first with that 1 seed, but they're on a 4-game losing streak heading into this playoffs. And so are the BlueCaps. They're on a 3-game losing streak. So both these teams are struggling to find a rhythm late in the season, and then a new page is turned in this book, though. Fresh start for both teams, and 1 seed versus 4th seed. BlueCaps are going to come out fiery and want to defeat the defending champions. They don't want them to go back to back.
On the mound for the Bobcats is going to be Bennett Schuler. Comes into this game with 15 1/3 innings pitched, 3-0 record, 19 strikeouts and 10 walks. So he's got the stuff, but depending on the command is how effective it is. But with that 3-0 record, he's been more than effective. As the first pitch is underway, and it misses for ball 1. Griffin Meeker, the leadoff man for the BlueCaps. Batting next on deck will be Max Greamy. Batting third, Michael Lucas, and playing second base. Colby Glenn in the cleanup spot in left field. This ball is hit in the air to right field, going a little bit to the right. He gave it a ride, but it goes foul to the right side. Wind blowing a little bit, pretty much straight out to right center field, I would say. So a little bit of help to balls on the right side of the ballpark. That one, a victim of the wind, goes foul. So 1-1 count now. Schuler comes set. Here's the 1-1. Fastball outside part of the plate, catches his own, 1-2. Batting sixth is going to be Drew Ward for the Blue Caps, playing center. In right field is Carson Butler. Batting eighth, Trey Schilling, and playing third. And batting ninth is Austin Lucas with the designated hitting spot. That one misses out of the hand of Schuler. Moves the count to 2-2. For the Blue Caps, as you said, Taylor, they come into this game with a 3. And that one's in the zone. That's going to be strike 3, and that is exactly how he wanted to start. Bennett Schuler collects a strikeout. I was going to say, for the for the Blue Caps, they want, I'm going to struggle with that all day, Bobcats, Blue Caps. But Blue Caps have to come into this game and strike early. We know the Bobcats on that 4-game losing streak, so they haven't been able to get anything going. Obviously, with the 3-game losing streak for the Blue Caps, they also haven't. But that's kind of what you want to see if you're the other side, especially if you're the underdog coming into a game. The other team can't find a rhythm. Anything can happen. Next up to step in is going to be Max Greamy following the strikeout. First pitch to him is a fastball that just misses outside for ball 1.
And a guy in Bennett Schuler who's seen the second most. He's the second most on the team in innings pitched. Second most experience for the Bobcats.
Next one swung on and missed from Greamy. The ball pops out of the hand of the Bobcat catcher Vogel. That'll be a strike. That is very correct. Both these players will introduce the next pitcher for the Blue Caps in the next half inning, but both pitchers with more than 15 innings pitched for their squad. So both managers handing the ball to an experienced pitcher. Obviously, in a playoff game like this one, definitely want to hand the ball to someone who is very experienced. 1-2 as that one catches his own. Greamy down to his last strike, trying to not end up like Meeker. Here's the 1-2 from Schuler. Fastball. He just caught a piece of it and also caught a piece of Vogel's mask behind the plate. Hit him square. He seems to be all right, though. He'll jog over, pick up the baseball, and hand it back to the umpire. 1-2, the count remains. Schuler's got his sign. Looking for the put-away pitch here. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Goes with a fastball. Good spot, but outside of the zone for ball 2.
Max Greamy, a guy who leads the team in average of 3.81 posting. Obviously seen the ball very well here. Working high in the count.
Here's the 2-2. Hit in the air. It's in the infield. It'll be playable. Under it is a second baseman, Gira, and he makes the catch. 2 quick outs for the Bobcats.
2 up, 2 down here. Perfect start for the Bobcats and Bennett Schuler. He's known to have these starts, making his 4th start of the season, which included the 3 in the regular season.
And then steps Michael Lucas. Michael Lucas, one of the few home run hitting teams on this Blue Cap squad. That ball's hit in the air. It's going to be playable, but in just barely foul territory. Under it is the first baseman diving. He cannot make the play. That would be Mitri that dove for that one. Just barely missed it.
That's a hard play by the first baseman to sprint back there in that position. I mean, that's a long ways from first base, and I think the right fielder and Harris probably would have had a better chance at it. Both of them going after it, but it's a foul ball right there.
As I was saying, Michael Lucas, one of the few home run hitting players on the team. They have 3 as a team. He has 2 of them, and he's batting .250 on the year. Behind 0-1 in this count. Here's the 0-1 from Schuler. Bounces it in there for ball 1. 1-1 now. Lucas has 11 hits on the year, 6 singles, 3 doubles, and those 2 home runs that we mentioned. Here's the 1-1. Also misses. 2-1 now. Not a bad spot. Just couldn't get it up high enough, and a really nice take from Lucas. 2-1 count now. He's back in the driver's seat. Goes with the fastball. Gets him swinging. Placed on the outside part of the zone. 2-2 count now. If Schuler can get Lucas here, it'll be a great start. Going 1-2-3. Here's the 2-2 from Schuler. Grounded over to third. It'll be gloved cleanly. Throw across the diamond. It's going to be picked, and he can't haul it in. Lapp threw it over to Mitri. Had to bounce it, and Mitri could not come up with the pick. It bounced, I would say, about 3 feet in front of him. And he had it in the glove for a second, but then you saw it come out at the end. And that is going to be an error, the first one in this game. And it provides a runner for the BlueCaps, Michael Lucas on first.
And that's a softly grounded ball over by the third base area. And the third baseman obviously wants to pitch it over quickly, but maybe he just got lost there in the throw and resulted in an error for the first baseman.
That brings up Colby Glenn. He's playing left field today on defense. Batting in the cleanup spot here on offense. First pitch to him is a strike. Here's the 0-1. Decides to go with the fastball, but misses his own high. Moves the count to 1-1. Schuler checks first twice. Interesting. 4 times. Then comes to the plate. Fastball bounces in there. Taylor, I have never seen a pitcher, Schuler, when he checks first, usually you look down at your left shoulder if you're a righty. He's a righty out there. He looks behind him. He looks back towards second and uses his right eye peripheral vision to see the runner. I'm curious to know why that is. 2-1 count. Popped up, and it'll go foul to the right side. I'm trying to think, maybe if you're looking at your right side, maybe he's told himself, if I go to a certain place and I can see him out of the right side of my eye, maybe that means that he's too far off the bag. I have never seen a pitcher do that before.
Yeah, it's a very interesting detail that you pointed out there. I mean, hurts my neck even trying to do that. But
2-2. Up high, and it moves the count to full. Glenn working a very nice at-bat here. Yeah, I mean, man, I even see things I haven't seen before every day, especially in the KCL. It seems like insane thing happens whenever I put on the headset, not when other people do. Runner on the go from first with 2 outs, and that ball is fouled off. Glenn stays alive, and that'll send Lucas back to first, who is running on the pitch. You can expect that in the 3-2 count with 2 outs. Either the ball's going to be put in play, it'll be a strikeout, or it'll be a walk. Sure. Searching for anything to put away Glenn here. Here's the full count pitch once again. Lifts his leg and fires. In there, strike 3. Schuler hops off the mound. He placed that fastball perfectly right on the outside, and he gets out of it after the error from his team. Can't go 1-2-3, but he wastes no time getting that third out against Glenn with the strikeout. The BlueCaps cannot salvage a run. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Welcome back to Normal, Illinois. BlueCaps can't get a score. They'll go on defense, and the Bobcats will step in. Here's the first pitch to Anthony Guerra. Bounces in there. The pitcher out there for the BlueCaps is Caden Rose. He's a lefty. And he has thrown 16 innings, has a 3.50 ERA with a 1-0 record and 9 strikeouts.
Guy who's seen it all for the BlueCaps leads the team in innings pitched. You saw that Bennett Schuler for the Bobcats is second most in innings pitched. So these guys at the top of the roster when it comes to the bullpen.
Next one misses from Rose. Outside, 2-1. Next pitch goes with a fastball, misses as well. 3-1 count now. Falling behind to Gira early. On deck is going to be Kyler Lapp. Batting third, Caleb Hackman. That one misses. Easy at bat for Gira. All he had to do for the most part is just kind of stand there, and he'll find his way over to first. Batting fourth is going to be Drew Stevens. Batting fifth, Sam Mitri. He'll play first. Carter Harris in right field. Batting sixth. Batting seventh is Will Vogel, the catcher. In the eighth spot is Max Willie. He's doing the designated hitting today. And Braden Main rounds it all off in the ninth spot in left field. The first pitch in there for strike one. This time he starts ahead. Kyler Lapp, the batter after Guerra walked. Rose tries to get him at first, picks it over there. But I think Guerra just had to take one step to his left, and he was back on the base. Not a big lead over there. The next pitch just outside. A little bit off the plate for a ball.
I think Rose is curious over there at first because Guerra is second most on the team in stolen bases with 4. The Bobcats aren't known to steal bases. They're actually last in the league in stolen bases, surprisingly, even though they take that top seed. But still curious over at first.
1-2 count now. After the swing and the miss. Really nice pitch from Rose. Cannot get the strike call. Also a really nice job by Hornbrook to try and frame that. Very close call, but it'll be a ball. 2-2. Here's a pitch. Ground ball to the left side. That'll get through. So back-to-back base runners. This time it's a single for Kyler Lapp, and the Bobcats in business early. Runners on first and second.
Way better start here for the Bobcats compared to the BlueCaps. Already a runner in scoring position. 0 outs to the board as well. Caleb Hackman can do a lot of damage here. A guy that's done it all for the Bobcats this season. 3.4 average, 2 home runs. He has a handful of singles, handful of doubles. The guy you want in the batter's box right now.
Caleb Hackman steps into the right-handed batter's box to face Rose. That one was an interesting one. That one will be called ball 1. The pitch from Rose, the catcher Hornbrook completely whiffed. I've never seen that before. He threw a changeup, so it was moving, but Hornbrook whiffs. There was no swing, and it hit him in the thigh and bounced away. Both Bobcat runners almost tried to take a bag, too. 1-1 count now as that one is in the zone. 1-1, and it is caught. The last time the BlueCats faced off against the Bobcats was July 12th. Here's the 1-1 from Rose. Just outside for ball 2. In that game, the BlueCaps went up 4-0 with a pair of 2-run innings in the second and third. And then in the bottom of the fifth, they were in full control, but in the bottom of the fifth, gave up a 7 spot to the Bobcats. And that one ended 7-4. Something that the BlueCaps can take into this. They had control, just kind of had a really bad inning. 3-1 count, bounced in there. And Rose has allowed all 3 of the first Bobcats on base. And the bases are now loaded with no outs. And the bat will be in the hands of Drew Stevens, the cleanup man.
The cleanup man here, and the base is loaded. It's a dream for Drew Stevens. Hometown hero, a guy who went to Normal Community High School. The Ironman was very good. Shout out to Ironman. As you mentioned, the last time these guys played, 7-4 lead or victory for the Bobcats. Overall, between these two teams in the regular season, the Bobcats are 7-1 against the BlueCaps. And when the Bobcats win, they don't just win, they win by a lot of run rules happening. And if this start continues the way it is going, it seems to look like it's going to happen again. Rose has to gather himself here. He's going to be in a lot of danger.
Bases all full as Dave Lingold took a meeting at the mound. He'll walk back now. We'll see if Rose can take the positivity into this next at bat against Drew Stevens. Drew Stevens, a very dangerous hitter. Currently batting .306 on the year. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball, lower part of the zone, catches it for strike one, 0-1. Stevens, 2 home runs in the year as well. 7 singles, so he's a single machine. And a guy that's tough to strike out. This ball's popped up, it'll end up foul behind the backstop. 0-2 now. Rose in the driver's seat ahead 0-2. Gotta pitch for the strikeout here. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Rose. Just outside a fastball, misses away. 1-2 count now.
I have to say, though, these last couple of pitches by Rose have looked good for the guy who's in a lot of danger.
Big swing and a miss. And that is a big strikeout from Rose. It comes against Stevens as he'll walk back to the dugout with a strikeout.
And a guy that doesn't really strike out a lot for the Bobcats. 41 at-bats and 6 strikeouts. He gets another one there. Way to rebound, bounce back for Caden Rose.
Next in is going to be Sam Mitri. Here's the first pitch to him. Hit in the air in shallow right field. The second baseman, Gura, is under it. He'll make the catch. No runners advance. So that's another humongous out for the BlueCaps. And now, with 2 outs, maybe the BlueCaps can find a way to get out of this inning with no runs. It's going to take a lot now, though, against Carter Harris, the right fielder, the lefty. But lefty-lefty matchup, we'll see if that plays a factor in this one. Rose is 1 at bat away from walking away with a 0. Ground ball, foul to the right side. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too much to the right for the first baseman to grab it. But regardless, it does provide a strike. So Rose ahead 0-1 on Harris. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off. So now 0-2.
As mentioned earlier, the guy before Drew Stevens, or Sam Mitri, is a single machine. Carter Harris is also a single machine. And a guy that you still want for the Bobcats in the batter's box, drawing a run.
That pitch almost got away. It's high, but what an acrobatic catch by the catcher Hornbrook to save that from going to the backstop. That would have been a run. The next pitch just barely misses, up and in. So the count has been worked to 2-2. Harris not going down without a fight. Here's the 2-2 from Rose. Hit in the air, into center. The center fielder Ward is under it, and he makes the catch. That's incredible. Bases loaded, no outs against the most dangerous offense in the KCL. And Rose will walk away with 0 runs. We'll go to the top of the second, all square at 0. We could be in for a fun one, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. The Blue Caps had everything against them in that last half inning. Bases loaded, no outs. But a combined effort from Rose and their defense. And they allow no runs. So 3 runners left on for the Bobcats. And they were the first 3 runners, too. So walk, single, walk, strikeout, pop out, pop out. Ground ball to the left side. That'll be foul. It'll be 1-1 count now. Back on the mound is Schuler for his second inning of work. Last half inning struck out Meeker, caused Greamy to fly out. Lucas reached an error, but then came back with a strikeout of his own, looking to Glenn. 1-1, hit high and far to right, but it'll be foul. 1-2 count.
I was talking to Devin earlier about the equipment and all these guys wearing different colors for their respected teams, and we came to a conclusion that next season all the colors should be the same. What do you think about that, Britton?
I think that's good. It's just kind of hard for a summer league, I would say, because a lot of these people, I mean, my one argument with that, though, is are you going to spend $100, unless it was provided, obviously. As we know, the Corn Crib does provide the players with bats, I'm pretty sure. When we were in the locker room looking before the season, looked like everyone had their own signature bat. That ball's hit in the air. Behind the plate is going to be playable for the catcher. He will get there and make the grab. Vogel finds the ball, keeps the mask on. He probably should have got rid of it, but does make the catch right next to the netting, and that'll be a first out.
Similar start from the first inning. Now coming off to the second inning.
Next in to step in is going to be Drew Ward. First pitch to him. Breaks his bat, goes into left field. He hit it a ton even though it was broken, but it'll be caught by the left fielder out there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of broken bats this season for KCL and the Corn Belters, and I have not seen a ball go that far with a broken bat. I think if that bat would have stayed in good condition, I don't know if I thought that was going to go out. As soon as he hit that ball, I thought that was going to go beyond the Corn Crib, but I was proven wrong.
Next in to step in is going to be Carson Butler, the right-handed hitter, to face the right-handed pitcher, Schuler. Schuler pipes a fastball in there for strike one. I would agree, Taylor. I think if that bat stayed intact, that one would have went a long way. He caught it right on the barrel, but it just kind of sawed in half. That one is fouled off directly behind the backstop to move the count to 0-2. Schuler working quickly. 0-2 count here with 2 outs against Butler. Schuler comes set. He's got his sign. Lifts his leg and fires the 0-2. Goes with the fastball but misses away. Now a 1-2 count. Trying to prompt a swing, but Butler did not bite. 1-2 count.
A lot of fastballs here for Schuler early on.
Rifled to the left side, but it'll go foul. One bounce into the stands on the left side for a foul ball. Here's the 1-2. Hit in the air to right. Going back is the Bobcat right fielder Harris, but he's under it now, and he'll make the catch. Very efficient inning from Schuler. He goes 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the second. The Bobcats, after failing to score at least 1 run with the bases loaded and no outs, you better believe that they're going to come out with their hair on fire. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to Will Vogel is swung on and missed for strike one. Vogel from right here in Bloomington Normal. Here's the next pitch. Slow swing and a miss. This time was an outside pitch from Rose. Gets him swinging quickly. 0-2. Vogel attends Rock Valley College. Currently in KCL action. A .222 average. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rose throws 3 pitches and gets 3 swings and misses. That'll be the first out. Vogel down on strikes.
And unfortunately for Vogel, he now leads the team in strikeouts with 18. Previous number was 17, but now takes it with 18. So we've seen that a lot this season, and he's going to have to do better if he wants a chance at winning back-to-back championships.
Max Willie, the designated hitter. Saucers one into left. Glenn out there in left only had to move in a couple steps. He makes the catch. That out comes a little bit quicker than the last one. First pitch, and that'll be another out. 2 outs now. Next up is going to be Braden Main. Main wearing number 4. He'll step in to the left-handed batter's box. Rose already ready to throw. Working quickly. Here's the first pitch. Big cut and a miss from Main. Just barely, I think, caught it off the top of the barrel. But not enough to change even the ball direction. So 0-1.
Ken Rose working very quickly here.
Next pitch. Ground ball right in front of the plate. And the catcher, Hornbrook, will let it go foul. I don't think he would have been able to get there anyway. But, man, that ball was right in front of Hornbrook. If that was going to stay fair and he had a chance, he should have probably picked it up, as Maine was only 2 steps out of the box. It would have been an easy throw down there. But it will be an 0-2 count. Rose searching for a put-away pitch. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. We might have a pitcher's duel on our hands. 3 up, 3 down for both sides. We'll go to the top of the third. The score square at 0. Welcome back. We have made it to the third inning. 1 hit combined between both sides. That 1 hit was a single from Kyler Lapp back in the first inning for the Bobcats. No runs for either side. First to step in is going to be Trey Schilling. Schilling attends Illinois Wesleyan just down the street. He's hitting 192 on the year. First pitch to him. He'll take a strike, a fastball to Schilling for strike 1. Schilling has been a part of 12 games for the BlueCaps this year. Next pitch, maybe lost it out of the hand. Schuler tried to go with the off speed, but left it high. It'll be 1-1. A little bit wild. Didn't quite get past the catcher Vogel, though. Here's the 1-1. Hit in the air, and it will go just foul, landing in the Bobcat dugout on the right side of the field. 1-2. Mitri Went on a break for it, but didn't quite have enough time to make a play. It was deep into the Bobcat dugout, though, so I don't think he would have had a chance to catch that even if he was there. Here's the 1-2 from Schuler. Fastball just outside. He thought he got him. Walked off the mound a couple steps, looked back, and saw that Schilling was still standing there, so it'll be a 2-2 count.
I like the pitch, though. I like the outside placement by Schuler.
Ground ball to left, and that's going to get through into left field. Diving try from Stevens. Even if he did glove it, wouldn't have had a chance. Trey Schilling, leadoff single for the Bobcats. Sorry, my goodness. The BlueCaps, that is his first hit. And the team's first hit. Both teams now with one hit.
Perfect way to jump start this offense for the BlueCaps, who's struggled as of recently. We mentioned 3-game losing streak. Both these guys have struggled recently on the offensive side. Jump starting here. 0 outs, a runner on base. See if Austin Lucas, we're in the bottom of the order here, but he's the designated hitter. He might have something to do.
First pitch to Austin Lucas. Lucas takes a big hack at that one with no success. Swing and a miss for strike one. I'll have to talk to our general manager, Jarrett, and ask him, why would you name 2 teams in the same league that play each other quite often? Such close names like the BlueCaps and the Bobcats. Very hard on our announcer crew.
Or why would you put 2 players with the same name on the same team? Braden Elliott.
Yeah. That one's hit to right and caught by the right fielder Harris, or Michael Lucas and Austin Lucas, 2 Lucases. All kinds of stuff going on. So that'll be the first out with a fly out to Harris out there in right field. The next batter is going to be Griffin Meeker. He struck out to open the game back in the first. This time Schuler tries to throw the slider on the first pitch. That, if I can remember, I think that's the first time he's gone with the slider to open up the frame. It'll be ball one. Big swing and a miss on the next pitch from Meeker. Comes back with a fastball in. Like that sequence. 1-1 count now with 1 out. Schuler just needs a ground ball and he can get out of this inning right away. Here's the 1-1 pitch. First, Schuler will check first. Now he comes to the plate. Throws a fastball in the zone. 1-2 now.
Meeker 1 pitch away, 1 strike away from striking out in his second at bat.
1-2 check swing. And they're going to say he went. I don't know why he's not running. Or no, that would have been, okay, because first was occupied. I was thrown off because going on the pitch was Trey Schilling. Would have been Austin Lucas. And he now ends up at third. Going on the pitch was him, and he made it to second by the time that ball had came through. And that would have been a strikeout as he swung just a little bit. Tried to check his swing, but went, unfortunately, a little bit too far. But it is a productive at-bat as Lucas now finds himself on third.
They're running 90 feet away from scoring for the BlueCaps. Yeah, they got the out, but there's still 1 more to go in the inning. They could do damage here. Still at the top of the order.
First pitch to Max Greamy. Swung on and missed for strike one. Greamy back in the first. Flew out. Would love to get his first hit right here with the runner on third. Next pitch. A slider bounces in there to the catcher Vogel, evening the count at 1-1. Schilling opened up this inning with a single. He now finds himself at third after the swing and a miss from Lucas that got away from the catcher Vogel. Ripped into left field. That's going to be a base hit. BlueCaps strike first, and it comes with an RBI single from Max Greamy.
Great piece of hitting there by Max Greamy, a guy who is consistent at the plate, shows it there. That ball came off his bat very quickly. Had a hold of the entire baseball right to left field. Bringing in the runner from third, and now the BlueCaps have a lead over the defending champions. Major underdogs here in this matchup.
Mike Lucas comes in, looking to provide even more. Here's the first pitch to him. It's a fastball from Schuler that misses for ball one. I want to correct myself. Schilling opened with a single. Lucas flew out, and then Meeker was the one that went down swinging on the pitch that got away from Vogel, allowing Schilling to get to third. And then Greamy right there. RBI single into left field. The Blue Caps jump ahead. That's what they had to do. That was one of your keys of the game. Get ahead of a tough team like the Bobcats. 1-0, your score. Here's the 0-1. Ripped into center, and the hits will continue as this one drops into center field for a base hit for Michael Lucas. Now first and second for the Blue Caps, and it's going to bring up Colby Glenn, the cleanup man.
Yeah, and a runner 180 feet away from scoring their second run, but Blue Caps tend to get the lead, but they struggle to maintain that. We've seen it the entire regular season of the KCL, and it's much different in the playoffs, but let's see if they can maintain and gather a lot of insurance going in later into the game.
Colby Glenn steps in. A hit to the outfield could produce the second run in this one. Here's the first pitch. Fastball bounces in there for ball one.
I've seen a couple pitches by Scholler here just bounce off the ground very low, not even making it to the home plate.
Schuler checks second twice, being held on by Stevens, then comes to the plate. Hit in the air to left. It sends Maine back. And that one's no, it just bounces off the top of the wall. One run is in. The next man coming around third, he'll score. It's a 2-run double for Colby Glenn. Even the PA announcer thought that one went off. They started the music. Colby Glenn, a little soundtrack for his double. He'll slide into second with a 2-run double.
And I thought the left fielder, Braden Maine, also thought it was out of here. It was like a centimeter away from going over. And it did not go over. It landed right in play. But
just barely hit the top of the wall and bounced back. The way that Maine, his body language looked like he had given up on that one. I think he thought, like you said, that that was also going out. Because as soon as it hit the wall, he kind of jumped up a little bit. 2 outs. And despite the 2 outs, Greamy, single, RBI. Lucas, single to move in to second, first and second. And then Colby Glenn comes up big, misses a home run by just a couple feet. He'll end up with a double and 2 RBIs to his tally. Next up is going to be Caleb Hornbrook, who will hit with still a Blue Cap in scoring position over there at second. The score, 3-0. Blue Caps getting ahead early. Exactly what they did last game, but they want to keep the Bobcats down. They're going to have to keep scoring and score often.
Scoring often and consistently for the Blue Caps, because the Bobcats aren't afraid to bite back. They've done it all season. They have something to prove today and want to go back-to-back. One thing in mind.
First pitch bounces in there, a slider. Vogel lost it, and that's going to allow Glenn to move to third. So that'll be a ball, and it'll allow the Blue Cap runner Glenn to advance to third. So now Hornbrook will hit with a man on third, just 90 feet away and ahead in the count, 1-0.
Blue Caps doing a lot of damage with 2 outs, and Schuler just losing control over a couple of these pitches, causing a lot of harm.
1-0 ground ball over to third. Lapp fields it near the line. The throw all the way across the diamond is in time. It looked routine, but definitely not a routine play. Lapp, really nice play by him. If he throws that ball away, that's a fourth run for the Blue Caps. But the Blue Caps managed to get 3 runs here in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom. The Bobcats are going to have to respond. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom of the third, ready to get underway. The BlueCaps score 3 in the top of the third. They lead this one 3-0. Hoping to start something for the Bobcats. It's going to be Anthony Guerra. First 2 pitches from Rose miss. 2-0. Guerra immediately ahead in the count. Here's the 2-0 from Rose. Fastball swung on and missed by Guerra. Very well placed in the outside part of the plate. Big swing and miss from Guerra. 2-1 count. Rose lifts his leg and fires once again. Missed again. So he's come all the way back. It's now 2-2. Rose 1 pitch away from setting him down. Man, is he working quickly. Getting the ball right back on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Bounces in there. Now a full count.
You mentioned working very quickly, getting the call and going right into his stance and throwing it in.
Got him, strike 3. That time on a changeup, it looked like. Works the count to full, but it won't matter. Rose gets the last laugh with a nice pitch in the outside part of the zone once again. All 3 pitches that he swung at were all on the outside part of the plate. Really nice pitching from Rose. That's the first out. Next up is going to be Kyler Lapp. First pitch to him misses for ball 1.
Lapp, the lone hit in the game for the Bobcats. Only guy who's shown success so far.
Next pitch also misses, so Rose will start this one immediately behind once again. 2-0. 2-0, fastball comes right back. 2-1. Rose has to keep the same mentality to attack. It seems like earlier he start 2-0 back-to-back times. Comes back with a strike. Just missed. A little bit high. 3-1 count now. Tried to go away with the fastball and just barely missed. Here's the 3-1. Called strike 2. A little bit of a late call, but it was there. Now a full count once again. This time to Lapp. Again, Lapp. Find a way. Here's the full count pitch. Hit in the air to left. It's going to be in the left center gap in shallow left field. Running it down is going to be Glenn, the blue cap left fielder. And that's going to be a big second out.
Caden Rose attempting to go 1-2-3 here after his team just put up 3. Exactly what you want. Getting right back on offense and keeping up that score.
Umpire going to write something down. Caleb Hackman is going to step in for the Bobcats with 2 outs. Thought that ball off the bat of Lapp would be a little bit more troublesome, but it did hang up there in the air in shallow left center field, and Glenn was able to make the catch. First pitch, hit in the air to center, well hit. It sends Ward back. He's now under it. He'll make the catch out there in deep center field. That's another great inning for Rose. He's been really good tonight. Still no runs. The 3rd straight 0. We'll go to the 4th inning. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Drew Ward will step in the box. Last time up, he flew out. Schuler back on the mound here for the top of the 4th. Through 2 scoreless through the first 2 innings, but did allow 3 runs in that last half inning. Comes out looking for another 0. Goes up and in with the fastball to Ward. Swung on and missed. 1-1 count now. Really nice pitch from him. Schuler comes set. Here's the 1-1 offering. This time misses, moving the count to 2-1. Tried with the fastball away and missed.
Schuler matching Rose's speed with getting the pitches off Schuler.
Next pitch a little bit too inside. That one almost caught a piece of Ward, but he danced out of the way. Drew Ward batting .238 on the year. 10 stolen bases. He leads his team. Always a threat should he get on. It's going to be tough now. Full count. He's going to have to fight if he'd like to get on base now. Schuler has done really well in full counts. He's got his sign. Come set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses. So Ward will get on base. And as I said, always a dangerous runner. He leads the team with 10 stolen bases. He's going to hope to make it 11 here. He's on to lead off this top half of the 4th.
Great start for the Bobcats, or the BlueCaps, excuse me. Man, these names are going to mess me up all night like
terrible
too, but great start. You got to keep getting runs if you're the BlueCaps. Can't let this lead be too minimal.
Carson Butler steps in. He won't see a pitch because Schuler is going to check over on Ward at first. Throws it over there. Not even nearly in time. He'll get back safely. Schuler comes set. Looks over to first once. Looks over to first twice. How about 3 times? Here's the next pitch. Fastball. In the zone to open this one to Butler. As we said, Schuler has a very unique way of looking and checking on the runner at first. Butler offered at it. They're going to say he went. It'll be the home plate umpire that makes the call. Now an 0-2 count. Here's Schuler's 0-2. Checks first. Throw it to first. A little bit closer this time, but cannot get the speedy Ward over there at first. Is able to dive back safely. Count still 0-2. Goes to first again. Might as well try if the last one was a little bit closer. Tries once more. Still the same result. Ward safe at first. Schuler finally comes to the plate. Ward on the run. Throw down to second. Sliding in there safely is Drew Ward. And that's going to be his 11th stolen base of the year. And it will come here in the top half of the 4th. BlueCaps with a 3-run lead. And he now moves into scoring position for Carson Butler.
Moves into scoring position. He didn't even have to get a ball into play. Reached on a walk, and you mentioned right when he took his spot at first base, leads the team in stolen bases and shows it there.
Butler tied for second on the team with RBIs. He can solidify himself in second should he come through here. Schuler bounces in a slider. Now a 2-2 count. Butler batting .263 on the year as well, so he's got a really nice bat. He has struck out 15 times, though. Throw down to second. Sliding in just safely is Ward. 15 strikeouts leads the team. But he does make up for it with the bat. He strikes out a lot, but he comes through even more. Next pitch from Schuler misses low. So now a full count. Butler going to have to be selective, but also going to have to really fight here. Full count against Schuler. Ward over at second, being held back slightly by Stevens, the shortstop. He's standing next to the bag. Schuler will come to the plate. Rip to the right side. It's going to get through into right field. It'll be fielded by Harris. The throw will come into the cutoff man. They're going to bring him all the way through. It was touched by the cutoff man. That would have been Mitri, and that had to be a miscommunication. That throw would have been right on the money, but it was touched by the glove of Mitri, causing the ball to go off course, and the BlueCaps are going to tack on their 4th run in this one. They'll add one here in the top of the fourth. It is 4-0 now.
Bringing that runner in from second. And as you mentioned, miscommunication. That ball hit Mitri. And I think that would have been a closer call at the home plate if that wouldn't have happened.
The slider misses from Schuler to Schilling. Schilling steps in. He singled back in the third inning. It was the first hit for the BlueCaps that opened up that 3-run inning of the third. Next pitch inside for a strike. Sliding in very safe is going to be Carson Butler. To go back to that play, usually at least how we were taught, if you don't say anything, that means that you're supposed to let the ball go in. But if the catcher is yelling, cut, 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 or something, 4-1, however, different teams do it different ways. But, man, have to make sure that that ball goes through. It was a really nice throw from Harris, but it won't matter as Mitri, unfortunately, decided he wanted to go grab it. If that ball is cut off, there wasn't a chance to get him at the plate. 2-1 count now for Schilling as that ball bounced in there. Here's the 2-1 from Schuler. Skied in the air. It's going to be right in front of the Bobcat dugout. Sliding is Vogel, but he cannot quite come up with it. Really nice effort. That is hard to do with all that catcher's gear on, but he made it look a little bit easy. He could not quite haul it in, though. So it'll be a foul ball, but it does move the count to 2-2. Schilling down to his last strike in this at-bat.
I believe he's had his mask on as well when trying to slide for that ball, and that is a lot to do, especially with all that weight running, but he had a good chance at it.
Butler over there at second. He represents the 5th run that could potentially score. Here's the pitch from Schuler. Goes with a fastball. It'll be grounded over to the second baseman, Guerra. He'll flip it to first in time, but it will allow Butler to get to third. So that is a very nice at-bat, productive to move the runner over. And now the BlueCaps have that 5th potential run 90 feet away.
That was just the first out of the inning. BlueCaps can still do a lot of damage. Runner at third, and Austin Lucas is 0 for 2 tonight, or excuse me, 0 for 1 flat out to right field in the third inning. Has another hack at it.
Austin Lucas in the 9 spot will now come up. As you know, 9 spot kind of gets a bad reputation, but they call it the second leadoff man, and Austin Lucas is a perfect encapsulation of what that means. He's batting .326, has been absolutely raking. He's 4th on the team in average. He comes in as he fouls that one off and is quickly, before I can blink, behind 0-2. Schuler working very quickly against Lucas. Lucas a lefty. All he has to do is put this ball in play, and it might be able to score Butler from third. Preferably a fly ball. It's going to be tough, though. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Panicked swing from Lucas, fouls it off to the left side. It was an outside fastball. Caught a piece of it. He was a little bit late, though. Last second decision by him. He'll step back in. He'll have to have an approach here. All the infielders in. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Schuler decides, hey, if you swung at that outside fastball, let's try a little bit higher. And it gets Austin Lucas swinging. That's a big strikeout and a big second out for the Bobcats.
A huge strikeout. And I think Austin Lucas there was a little bit too aggressive. Yeah, he's had a successful regular season, but that ball was way high out of the zone and still takes a shot at it.
And that one was a slider from Schuler that was also whiffed on by Vogel. It caught him, I think, maybe in the shoulder area, right off the chest protector. It will be called a strike, though, so it'll be 0-1 for Griffin Meeker. Meeker. Ground ball to the left side. That's going to get through into left field. The run will score from third. Meeker's going to try for second. By the time the throw comes in, the run scores, and Meeker glides into second base. And that is an RBI double to BlueCaps. Shocking the Bobcats early. It's 5-0.
Yeah, hit that ball very well right down the third base line. No chance for the third baseman to get it. and went right past him at high speeds. Gets past the left fielder, too. He has to chase after it, so there's no chance to get a pick off at second as Meeker makes his way over to second. The run does score, though, so they increase the lead to 5 and still have a runner in scoring position. You got to think if they score one more, we might have to be considering talking about the run rule.
Yeah. Before we can do that, though, the Bobcat head coach comes out, and that's going to be it for sure. We're going to have a new arm on the mound for the Bobcats coming in with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. We'll introduce him in just a moment. New pitcher on the mound for the Bobcats is going to be Isaiah Giganti. So far in KCL action, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. One of their more reliable arms, which is exactly why he finds himself in this one. BlueCaps have a runner on second. Max Greamy at the plate. The Bobcats find themselves down 5-0 early in this one. First pitch is a ball to Greamy.
Just nearly missing the zone top right, above the zone, but good first pitch. I like the placement by Giganti.
Next pitch, hit in the air to right center field. That one is going to split the gap. Does it have the distance? It drops right in front of the warning track and will just barely go over the wall. So that's going to be a ground rule double. And they're going to say, I think they're going to say the run does count, and it does. So it's going to be an RBI ground rule double for Max Greamy, and it's now 6-0 Blue Caps.
And back-to-back doubles for the Blue Caps, causing harm with 2 outs. We've seen this before early in the game. They don't want to go away when they have 2 outs. And the Bobcats on the other side, they can't seem to get off the field as well. For 2 outs, it's just you need one solid play, and then you're out of the inning, but they can't seem to do it here.
Next pitch bounces in there for a ball. As we said when we started the game, Bobcats have been a little bit flat-footed in the last few games, struggling to get anything going early in the game. It seems like everything comes late. In this one, they immediately find themselves behind 6-0 here in the top of the 4th. If you're the Blue Caps, though, got to continue to score, as we said, which they've done. 3 runs in the 3rd inning, 3 here in the top of the 4th. So you've already checked that box. 2 crooked numbers. Fouled off. Good fight from Michael Lucas. Hit right behind him to the backstop. Lucas singled back in the 3rd. He scored on a double by Colby Glenn and also brought in another run. So 2-run double from Colby Glenn the last inning. Here's the 2-1. Misses. 3-1 now. Giganti. Obviously not put in the greatest situation. Struggling, nevertheless, to find the zone a little bit. 3-1 count. Looks over to second, then comes to the plate. Fastball. Swung on a miss from Lucas. It was a little bit high and a little bit outside, but Lucas offers at it, and then it's now full count.
I'm surprised with 3-1 count that he Swung on that one there.
Up and in, Lucas way ahead of it, fouls it off behind the backstop to keep it a full count. Stevens holding on the runner over there at second, opening up a big hole on the left side with Lucas being a dead pull hitter. I don't know if I'd be doing that. Fastball inside for ball 4. Lucas, the patience pays off. He'll end up at first and second for the Blue Caps. The next man is going to be Colby Glenn, who hit that 2-run double back in the third. Same situation, too, I'm pretty sure. Besides the fact I think that there was a wild pitch that moved the runners from first and second to second and third. So first and second now, as the first pitch is in there for strike one, a slider from Giganti.
Giganti not known to be giving up walks. That's only his third of the season. 2 in the regular season. Gets the third one here.
Up and in with a fastball, just barely catches a piece of it. That'll be a foul ball. 0-2 now to Glenn. Giganti, part of a flurry of people on this Bobcat roster from the Bloomington Normal area. Looks over to second. Back to second again. Now comes to the plate. Bounces in there for ball 1. Now Stevens, who was holding on the runner at second, playing straight up at shortstop. Now the second baseman, Guerra, creeping behind second. Giganti gives him a look. Lifts his leg, comes to the plate. High fastball misses. Back-to-back balls. 2-2. After a bad miss with a fastball, I'm curious to see what Giganti goes with next. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Glenn. Big swing and a miss. Giganti goes up and in with the fastball once more. This time, Colby Glenn cannot catch up to it. That is going to be strike 3, strikeout for Giganti. But another 3-run inning for the Blue Caps. It is now 6-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Drew Stevens set the lead off this bottom half of the 4th inning for the Bobcats. Another 3-run inning for the Blue Caps. This is giving Caden Rose an even bigger cushion. 6-0 your score. First pitch to Drew Stevens from Rose. Misses high for ball 1. Next pitch. Just a little bit low, maybe a little bit in as well. 2-0 now from Rose. He starts a lot of counts behind 2-0. Next pitch. Comes back with a fastball in the zone. I think the last 3 batters, that's exactly the sequence that we've seen. 2 balls, 1 strike after falling behind. Got to find a way to attack these Bobcats hitters a little bit earlier. Next pitch. Fastball just a little bit outside. 3-1 now. Stevens knows that the Bobcats just need base runners right now. Next pitch bounces in there, and they will get one. Nice take from Stevens on the ball in the dirt. And that 5-pitch at bat ends with a walk.
It's not how you want to start if you're Rose. Giving up a walk. Stevens was up early in the count, though, 2-0, and he maintained the lead. And now Bobcats have a chance to chip away at this deficit.
First pitch from Rose misses for ball 1. That walk to Stevens was his 3rd of the game so far. He has 4 strikeouts, though. We knew that coming in. Big strikeout guy, but also does allow quite a few walks as he falls behind once more. 2-0 to Mitri. Mitri in his 2nd at bat. In his 1st, he flew out. Rose gives a look over to first. This time finds the zone, and it's fouled off as well by Sam Mitri just to the right of the backstop. 2-1 count now. Runner at first, obviously, Drew Stevens. Stevens taking a pretty good lead over there at first. Ground ball over to second. This could be 2. Flip from Lucas to Meeker. Over to first. In time to Greamy. Beautiful double play for the BlueCaps. And just like that, Taylor, all erased. 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah, literally a perfect double play. The ball bounced right into the second baseman's hands, and Lucas tosses it over to second. And the throw from Meeker at the shortstop position in time with a little bit to spare, too.
Carter Harris probably thought in the on-deck circle he'd have a chance to get an RBI here. Now, after that double play, nobody on. He's going to have to start from scratch. The first pitch to him is a strike from Rose. Second pitch, high fastball. Harris thought about it, but held back his swing wisely as that ball was a little bit out of the zone. 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1 from Rose. Bounces in there. 2-1 count. BlueCaps currently in this one, 6 runs on 7 hits. The Bobcats, no runs on 1 hit. This ball, weird one, over to second. Throw by Lucas. The stretch called safe at first. That one was a weird one. That one was spinning weird off the bat. Hit the middle of the bat of Harris. It bounced right in front of Lucas. He was able to field it. Kind of had to jump a little bit to his right to make sure that he can get in front of it. Flipped to first, but by the time that happened, Harris already at the bag. Dave Lingle got to come out to talk to his infield. I think Rose thought they had him at first. He was motioning the dugout with a fist, telling them that he thought they were out. Told manager Lingle to come out, maybe see if he can get a peel, but he'll go right to the mound instead to talk to his pitcher and his infielders. All BlueCaps so far, but in this inning, we have seen some base runners. That's the second base runner out there now, Carter Harris.
Short-lived conversation on the bump, though. Dave Lingle's walk back to the dugout is longer than the conversation that they had. There is action in the bullpen, though, for the BlueCaps. Excuse me, no action for the Bobcats. Just a couple guys sitting on the bench. Something to look into in the future.
First pitch to Vogel, swung on a miss for strike 1. Harris, that infield single was just the second hit of the ball game for the Bobcats. It came here at the bottom of the 4th. Vogel behind 0-1. Goes with a fastball once more. Swung on and missed again. 0-2. Now Rose has options. Some of the perks of getting ahead, Taylor. 0-2 count. He can either go back with a fastball high, elevated, or maybe drop something in the dirt. We'll see what he goes with. Goes with a fastball high. On the run with the pitch was Harris, but it won't matter. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Vogel bites at the high fastball. And despite a little bit of traffic, Rose throws up another 0. It's his 4th straight. We'll go to the top of the 5th.
Welcome back here in Normal, Illinois at the Corn Crib, top of the fifth action. Score remains 6-0. Blue Caps Caleb Hornbrook steps into the batter's box with his half pink, half black bat, red gloves. First pitch he sees is fouled behind for strike one. The second pitch lands in there. He watches it go past him for strike two, and quickly down in the count is Hornbrook 0-2. Giganti trying to get off to a better start than the previous inning. 0-2 pitch is flied out into left field. Left fielder's underneath it in Maine. Gathers it but loses his hat, but squeezes it for the first out of the inning. 1 up, 1 down. A way better start to the inning here for the Bobcats. Let's see if they can produce more of those quick outs.
That was kind of an interesting swing from Hornbrook. Kind of leaned out. Kind of looked like almost like a golf swing. He was able to hit it out to left field, but Maine under it out there in left field.
Drew Ward steps in next. Taps the plate with his bat, rounds it to his shoulders. First pitch he sees is upstairs for ball one. Second pitch follows just that as well for ball two. And now Giganti, after going up 0-2 in the count before, now down 2-0. And now down 3-0 as the 2-0 pitch is inside for ball three. And a hitter-friendly count for an aggressive hitter in Drew Ward, who reached base on a walk last inning. Won't be walking here as the 3-0 pitch finds the zone for strike one. Ward, a guy that you do not want on base at all. Very aggressive base runner, already has a stolen base. This evening, 3-1 pitch is fouled directly behind. And the count now is up to full.
Giganti was not put in a very favorable position. He's done pretty good, though, of attacking the Blue Cap hitters.
The full count pitch swung on and missed for strike three. A big swing for Drew Ward. Finds no success there. Does not get a piece of the ball. He walks his way back to the dugout in disappointment. And 2 up, 2 down here early for the Bobcats.
2 up, yeah. 2 up, 2 down right away. If you're the Blue Caps, got to try and extend the inning. Can't give the Bobcats a whole lot of momentum because they will for sure ride with it. Only 2 hits, but that giant of an offense is just waiting to wake up.
Carson Butler will follow, and first pitch he saw was up and outside for ball one. Second offering is low and bounces into the catcher's hands, luckily for Vogel. 2-0 is the count. Giganti kicks and fires. 2-0 pitch is outside of the zone once more, and once again for the second time in a row, count rounds up to 3-0. See if Butler can do anything with it here. He watches the 3-0 pitch go right by him. Doesn't attempt to swing at all. Finds the zone for strike one. You got to think Butler, he was expecting that. Just wanted to see what Giganti was going to do. 3-1 pitches flied up on the right side of the field, out of play. Got a big piece of that one. Hit the suite out there in right field, the roof of the suite. And just out of play. Count now runs up to full after a 3-0 count. 3-2 pitch is popped up in the left field. Right center field, excuse me. Hackman's underneath it for the third out. 3 up, 3 down for the Bobcats. After 5.5, the score remains 6-0 Blue Caps. Bottom half of the fifth. Coming your way, you're listening to KCL Baseball on the Normal Corn Belters YouTube. Bottom half of the 5th. Max Willie steps in for the Bobcats to start things off. The designated hitter this evening. You're in the bottom of the order for the Bobcats. First pitch he sees grounds it right to the third baseman in Schilling. Throws it over to first and executes the first out of the inning quickly.
Got to be able to do that, Rose. Absolutely love what I've seen from him so far. Going right at this Bobcats hitter. He's not afraid, Taylor. Quick out there. And that is absolutely deflating for a Bobcat offense. Trying to get anything going for them. They only have 2 hits. But Rose has made light work of this offense so far.
9th hitter for the Bobcats and Braden Main. First pitch offered to him, fouled on the left side. And Rose working very quickly but very confidently. Showing a lot of poise and continues it here of this hot start. The bottom of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch, though, is up and outside of the zone for ball 1. You mentioned only giving up 2 hits compared to the 7 for the BlueCaps. You don't see that a lot for the Bobcats. As I say that, they get the 3rd hit there as Braden Main is rounding first. Going to go after second. And he lands right there as that ball was sliced to the right field. Gets over the head of the first baseman and Max Green. He had no chance of gathering it for the second out. And Braden Main gets the double.
Don't worry, Taylor. The announcer's jinx caught me earlier in the game as well. Really nice piece of hitting by Main. That's how you start something. Not with a single, but with a big double down the line. Now you have a runner in scoring position. If this Bobcat offense can score once, you best believe they're probably going to score a couple times.
It's all about momentum in sports, and baseball is a key example of that. They get their one big hit. Anthony Gura, we're at the top of the order once more. Pops it to right field in the same area, but a little bit weaker this time. Gura's going to get a single, and that's going to have Braden Main over at third. He was tempted to go home, but last second sprinted over back to third, luckily. And now runners on the corners, though, for the Bobcats.
Usually I would say probably don't throw home on that play. Throw to second to prevent, as that run over there at third doesn't mean much in this one. But with the Bobcats and, as you said, momentum, you had time to probably throw it home. If they sent him from third, he was going to be way out. Really nice throw out there and right from Butler. But that runner for the Bobcat over at first should probably be at second. The second he saw Butler wind back and fire that one home. So a missed opportunity. He'll probably try and swipe a bag here. Almost caught him looking, too.
He did indeed. And first pitch to Kyler Lapp is outside the zone for ball 1. So see here, the Bobcats can get up in this count once more and cause them even more damage than they already have. The 1-0 pitch clips the bottom left corner of the zone for strike 1. Beautiful placement there by Rose. Kyler Lapp, a guy who singled in the first inning, fly it out to left field in his second at-bat. 1-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Gets out of the hands of the catcher in Pornbrook. Count now runs 2-1. Rose gets the offering, gets into his stance. Before he throws one, though, he tries to pick off attempt at first, and Gura, he dives back in safely. Gura, a guy that has seen all season being a very aggressive base runner. The 2-1 pitch is low. 3-1 count to Kyler Lapp. Hitter-friendly count with a runner in scoring position, a runner at first, a runner at third. Rose very curious over there at first. Gives a glance, kicks and fires. 3-1 pitch is popped up deep center field. The center fielder calls it off, waves it. Ward catches it, but it's going to be a sacrifice fly as the runner on third, and Braden Main scores for the Bobcats. And finally, the Bobcats have a run on board. Score still, though, 6-1.
I love the try out there. Ward, you saw him throw his hands up and act like he didn't know where that one was, hoping the runner from third would start breaking for home. But he didn't, but the runner from first did, and that prevented that runner. That was deep out into center field. The runner over there at first could have probably, that's going to be.
The first offering to Caleb Hackman is very outside and gets out of the hands of the catcher, and Hornbrook and Gira takes off the second with ease.
Yeah. Sorry for talking too long, but the runner at first would have been Gira. He kind of broke for a second after he threw his hands up, so it worked, but now he finds himself on second anyway.
Gira a huge lead over at second. 1-0 pitch. Barely outside the zone for ball 2, and Gira huge lead off. It's going to have a lot of attention over at second. Ray was very curious, checks and throws it in the 2-0 pitch outside for ball 3.
If you're Rose, after the Bobcats just scored 1, you got to shut the door right now. You cannot allow them to score that runner over there at second.
3-0 pitches outside the zone once more, and 4 straight balls. We'll have Caleb Hackman jog his way over to first. Doing damage here with 2 outs. A runner 180 feet away from scoring the second run. And there's going to be a mound visit. Dave Lingle slowly makes his way toward the hill. One guy in the bullpen warming up for the BlueCaps. Still not a lot of action there, and you got to think this is just another conversation that's going to be short-lived.
They're going to try and buy him some time to probably get stretching. If that's a pitcher getting warm, it looks like he's walking back. So I don't even know if they have anyway in the bullpen, but I like it because Rose has been unbelievable. Whenever his night ends, regardless of the outcome of this one, he would have had an unbelievable start. So far through this one, he has gone 4 2/3 with 1 run only given up, 4 hits. He's been lights out tonight for the BlueCats, which is exactly what they needed. They needed to come in to these playoffs and shock a lot of people, and they've done just that so far. They find themselves up 6-1. A lot of game to go. They got to hold on and extend.
First offering to Drew Stevens, finds the lower right corner of the zone for strike 1, a breaking ball.
Love that pitch call. Go with the off speed. You can throw it for a strike. Really nice job by Rose to have the confidence to do it. You go fastball there after a mound visit. Usually a hitter selling out on the heater after you get runners in first and second. Got to get some momentum. You drop a slider in there. The batter takes it.
One count as Rose kicks and fires. The 1-1 pitch is very high and has a lot of heat to it. Stevens had to get out of the way of that one. In the upper body area, could have done a lot of harm if it made contact with him. Rose glances over at second, comes home. 2-1 pitch is popped up high in the shallow center field. The shortstop, Meeker's underneath it for the 3rd out of the inning, but not after the Bobcats finally get a run on board. They still have a lot of work to do. Score remains, it doesn't remain. Score is now 6-1. BlueCaps, top of the 6th, coming your way here at the Corn Crib. You're listening to Normal. You're listening to KCL Baseball on the official Normal Corn Belters YouTube. We start the 6th inning with the Blue Caps trying to gain more insurance. Trey Schilling, bottom of the order for the Blue Caps. First pitch he sees is fouled behind for strike one. Giganti still on the bump for the Bobcats. 1-2-3, last inning. Let's see if he can match the good inning. The 0-1 pitch, though, is popped up in the shallow right field. Mitri was underneath it for the easy out, but it falls out of the glove, and Trey Schilling reaches first on an error by Mitri.
Yeah, I don't really have a comment about that. Just it was a routine, not even a high pop-up. It was one of those weak ones. Right under it, squeezed his glove too early, I guess is the way I'd describe it. Went off probably the webbing of the glove, I guess. I don't know. It just a rare miscue from the Bobcat defense, and that's a big error as it allows the leadoff man, who would have been out easily, to now be at first.
Austin Lucas, the designated hitter this evening, hasn't had that much success. 0-for-2, first flied out into right field in the second at bat, struck out swinging. Down early in the count here, 0-2. Giganti, like I said in the last inning, the 5th inning, the top of the 5th, went 1-2-3 in a matter of 5 minutes. 0-2 pitch gets just a piece of the baseball and spoils it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was not a competitive swing from Lucas. That was almost the opposite of uppercut, whatever you call that. Kind of chopped down at the ball and caught a piece of it.
0-2 pitch grounded. It's Kyler Lapp's hands, tosses it over to second, goes over to first. An attempt for the double play. Doesn't make it in time, but good idea. But the runner, Trey Schilling, making his way over to second, gets out.
Lucas, really nice job hustling that one out to keep the Blue Caps in control in this inning. If he doesn't hustle that one out, that erases that error from Mitri back in the first at bat. But Blue Caps still have a runner on first.
Blue Caps do still have a runner on first, and rotating the order is the Blue Caps and Griffin Meeker, a guy who doubled in his last outing in the 4th. Got a huge piece of the baseball on that hit. A 1-0 pitch finds the top half of the zone for strike one. Giganti gets the call. Kicks and fires. The 1-1 pitch is flied out deep into left field. It's going to be out of here for a home run, a 2-run home run for Griffin Meeker. And that's a way to dial up some insurance for your team, isn't it?
I cannot begin to express how desperately that was needed for the Blue Caps. That takes the air completely out of the Bobcats. They get a run in the bottom half of the 5th. They finally break the scoreless drought. And then when you think you have a little bit of momentum, Griffin Meeker steps up to the plate and launches one out to left field. Now 8-1 Blue Caps. That is exactly what they needed.
Griffin Meeker's first home run of the season comes in the playoffs. What a time to prove that you can hit it out of the ballpark. That's the 4th home run in total for the entire team, and if the Blue Caps want to make it far in the playoffs, they need to start putting the baseball on the bat and hit it deep. The 0-1 pitch to Max Greamy is popped out into center field. It should be playable for the center fielder in Caleb Hackman. He camps under it and squeezes it for the second out.
To go back on that Meeker, don't believe that was a fastball. That one, he sat well perfectly, put a really good swing on it. It was a ball that was just a little bit towards the outside of the plate, not too much though. He pulled it. That just shows what kind of pop Meeker has in store. Maybe some sneaky pop. Didn't think that he could maybe do that, but out in the left center part of the field, that's deep out there.
Michael Lucas takes the first offering. Watch it go past him for strike one. Second pitch is fouled behind for strike two, and Giganti up early in the count here to Michael Lucas, who reached base on an error in the first, singled in the third, and then reached base on a walk in the fourth. The 0-2 pitch is low and out of the zone for ball one. Lucas gets into his stance, stands tall. Giganti does as well. The 1-2 pitch loses control by Giganti, low, and no chance of that one being competitive. Count now runs even, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top half of the sixth, score 8-1 BlueCaps. BlueCaps the last team in the league in standings. Bobcats the first, and they're showing that standings don't matter when the time actually matters in the playoffs. 2-2 pitch is spoiled behind. We'll do it again. Giganti kicks, fires. 2-2 pitch is grounded. The shortstop or the second baseman in Gira throws it over to first for the routine third out of the inning. But 2 runs score for the BlueCaps. Kick their lead up to 8-1. Bottom half of the sixth coming your way here in Normal. You're listening to KCL Baseball on Normal Corn Belters YouTube. Bottom half of the sixth, new pitcher on the bump for the BlueCaps. Caden Rose's day is done. Terrific evening for him, but Blake Billups takes his spot and tries to close this one off. Braden, what can you tell me about him?
Blake Billups from Oakton. He's one of the more experienced. As you know, the trend tonight has been experienced pitchers. Billups, 14 2/3 innings pitched, but I kind of want to talk a little bit more about Caden Rose. What a night tonight. 5 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched, and 1 earned run on arguably the most powerful offense in the KCL. They've had no answer against Rose. They'll look to get on Billups here.
Mitri will face Billups first, and count now runs to 1-1 after a high ball and then a ball foul down the third base line. Billups kicks, pitches in. One pitch is upstairs, just barely missing the zone for ball 2. Mitri stands tall with his all light brown bat. 2-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Big hack at that for Sam Mitri. And Sam Mitri can get the contact on the ball. He tends to get good contact and dangerous hitter for the Bobcats. A guy that you want to start things off. As I say that, 2-2 pitch is flied out into right field. In the warning tracks, it drops just outside of the wall. And Sam Mitri gets a stand-up double and nearly inches away from matching the home run by the BlueCaps in the top half of the sixth here, but inches away.
I mean, it's awesome that he doubled. That gives the Bobcats something going. But, man, for the Bobcats, you would have loved to see that ball go out, get a little bit of a lift up for your other hitters. But they still have that runner out in scoring position now with Mitri at second. But I do think that for momentum's sake, if that ball went out, that's a pretty big swing.
It is for sure. And Carter Harris, a guy who can also swing the ball hard and get good contact. He's down early in the count, though, 0-2 to 2 foul balls. 5 hits for the Bobcats. He has one of them, and Carter Harris singled in the 4th. 1 for 2 for the night, though. 2 pitch is high, way out of the hands, or way out of the zone for ball 1. Hornbrook has to stand up and catch that one. Phillips glances over at Mitri at second, comes home. The 1-2 pitch popped up and fouled behind, spoiling the 1-2 count. Phillips steps off the rubber, steps back, gives a stare over at Mitri. 1-2 pitch, check swing, and he went for strike 3. Struck out swinging. Wasn't confident in that pitch there by Carter Harris. Doesn't fully swing at that one. Checks his swing, and he went over.
He tried everything he could to hold that swing back, but unfortunately it did break the plane. Good call by the home plate umpire. That's a big strikeout. After giving up the double, you come back with a strikeout of your own.
Vogel, the guy behind the dish, catching the balls for the Bobcats tonight. First pitch he sees goes past him for strike 1, a guy who's struck out swinging in both of his outings. Mitri, not too big of a lead off at second. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2, and Vogel down in the count 0-2.
Great job by Billups going right at him. That's what it's going to take. I mean, we've seen at some points of the year the Blue Caps not able to throw strikes when they need to. Tonight, they've done a really nice job, both Rose and Billups, of attacking hitters, getting ahead in counts for the most part, and it's paid off for him so far.
1-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Blake Billups, and Will Vogel's 3rd strikeout swinging of the game. Not his night, to say the least. After the double given up to Mitri, 2 strikeouts. Max Willie, the DH tonight, also 0 for 2. Pinch hitting for Max Willie is Lawson Schickel. First pitch he sees is up and outside of the zone for ball 1. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Lawson Schickel, a guy in the regular season, had a pretty average season to say. 1-1 pitch bounces off the ground, lands right in the hands of Hornbrook. No chance for Sam Mitri to head over to third, but Lawson Schickel, a guy who went to University High School here in town, about 15 minutes away. Illinois State University owns the high school. 2-1 pitch. Up and outside of the zone for ball 3. Hitter-friendly count here for Lawson Schickel as he comes into the game looking to make a big effect for his team. 3-1 pitches upstairs. Watches it go past him. Great eye by Lawson Schickel, who takes his spot at first. 2 runners on base, a runner in scoring position for the Bobcats. And Braden Main, a guy who doubled in his last outing, looking to do the same, put a ball into play and cause some harm.
Unfortunate walk for Billups. Let him go, but got to focus back in and go at Maine.
Maine takes the first pitch and flies it out. The catcher in Hornbrook is jogging after it, but the first baseman in Greamy is going to gather that one. Both of them heading towards it, but Greamy is the one underneath it for the 3rd out of the inning. Score remains 8-1 Blue Caps after 6. Top of the 7th coming your way. You're listening to KCL Baseball on Normal Corn Belters YouTube. Gigante's day is done. To replace him is Tommy Burke, number 18. For the Bobcats, as the wind is starting to pick up here. Normal. First pitch to Colby Glenn. It's outside of the zone for ball one, and right-handed pitcher. See if he can, or left-handed pitcher, excuse me. He kicks and fires, and the 1-0 pitch finds the right half of the zone for strike one. Colby Glenn has some light pink gloves. 1-1 pitch is in the zone for strike two. Great placement there by Burke. Tommy Burke, a guy has played 12.1 innings exactly. 20 strikeouts to 16 walks is a very interesting stat line. High in the strikeouts, but also high in the walks. 1-2 pitch is outside the zone.
That just goes to show what the category stuff that Burke has. He's got the electric stuff, just sometimes can't find the zone.
2-2 pitch, fouled behind, spoiling the count. We'll do it again. Burke, 5 appearances, making his 6th. Only has started one game. 2.27 to be exact. ERA, so pretty low ERA considering we're in the KCL. Even count pitch. Upstairs for ball 3. Count now runs full. Colby Glenn, a guy 1 for 3 this evening with a double. Full count pitch. Rounded down the first base line, but fouled out of play. It seems to have broken his bat, and Glenn to hurt that one come off the bat a little interesting, and he'll get a new bat. His second broken bat of the game. This time the bat remains intact. The bat before that got broken was in half. This one remains intact though, but still gets a new one. The new one is half black, half pink. Imagine his pink gloves. We can see it all the way from up here in the press box. Or I think those are purple. I don't know, maybe colorblind. 3-2 pitch is low and out of the zone for ball 4, and first batter that Burke faces is going to walk one, and just as mentioned, high walk total. He adds 1 to it there, and not a good start if you're Burke and trying to gain back some momentum from a 8-1 deficit.
Yeah, for the Bobcats, you're already in a not favorable position. Cannot allow to let the BlueCaps get a single more run. You're already down 8-1. Gotta take care of business and give your offense the best possible chance they can possibly get in the bottom half of this inning.
You got in Caleb Hornbrook, 0 for 3 tonight. Looking to jumpstart something here. First pitch upstairs and out of the zone. Hornbrook. Second offering flied out and down the right side. Got a hold of that one. Fouled into the bleachers. Beautiful night here. Beautiful evening in Normal, Illinois. Not too humid, not too hot. Around, actually, I think it's low 70s, high 60s.
Yeah, it's really nice tonight. Got a nice breeze, too.
Nice breeze and a decent amount of people in the stands here for the first day of KCL playoffs. Going to continue for the next couple of days. The 1-1 pitch popped it to the left field. This one's going deep, completely out of here, out of the reach of the left fielder. And Braden Main had no chance of getting that one. He could have been 10 feet tall, and he wouldn't have been able to gather that one. And that will be a home run for Caleb Hornbrook. After going 0 for 3, he says, no more.
And he watched that one for a good while. He admired that shot. That one way out. That one just above the Stark Excavating Incorporated sign. It would be how many ads over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ads over. So very deep left center field. And it cleared the wall by plenty. Absolutely scorched off the bat of Caleb Hornbrook with a nice bat flip to cap it off. It's now 10-1 BlueCaps.
And what a dominant performance by the BlueCaps mentioned earlier. The BlueCaps only had 4 home runs in the entire regular season. A lot of games played in that season as well. They have half of that total here in one game, and it shows on the scoreboard, 10-1. They don't care that they're the defending champions. They're showing out tonight.
Yeah, and we said at the start of the game, it's KCL. Anything could possibly happen, and you knew if there's any doubt at this point, we'll talk about this more, that they can play up with these big teams. I think looking at that scoreboard, there's your answer. Anybody can win a baseball game in the KCL.
Count runs 1-1 to Drew Ward. 1-1 pitch finds the lower half of the zone for strike 2. And Drew Ward this evening 0 for 2 and reached base on a walk. Middle lower half of the order here for the BlueCaps. A 1-2 pitch is fouled behind. We'll do it once more. For Burke here, not a great start at all as a pitcher. Walk, your first man you face, and then a home run. Brings the walk in. And another run, so 2-run homer for Caleb Hornbrook. I think that's Caleb Hornbrook's first home run of the season as well. So 2 BlueCaps getting their first home run of the season. Perfect timing.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they waited until the playoffs.
Yeah, what a time to do it.
Even count, 2-2 pitch. Finds the lower half of the zone for strike 3. That was a little bit inside, but the umpire says strike, and Burke gets the K.
It was a really nice pitch from Burke, too. Inside part of the plate. Ward did have to back up a little bit, but when you move out and you bail out like that, you do open up the zone, and sometimes you can get those 50-50 calls not go your way if you open up the zone. He's got to learn that he's got to stay in the box and let that one go right past him, because him opening up the zone like that makes it look a lot more like a strike, and I think that's what happened right there.
Indeed, and I just realized score 10-1. Up 9 is the BlueCaps. I was mesmerized by that home run. They need one more run to end this game and run rule the BobCats for the second time. The only time these guys played and the BlueCaps won, they won 10-0. So interesting. I mean, 7-1 regular season record in favor of the BobCats.
Anybody can win one baseball game.
2-0 pitch. Flied out behind in foul territory.
Obviously, the BlueCats do wish that they could have the 10 run with them being the away team in this game. Unfortunately for them, they will have to nevertheless play the bottom of the 7th, but them having a 10-1 lead, if they can get one more run and put themselves up double digits, it will be demoralizing for the BobCats and very hard for them to come back.
2-1 is fouled. It's on the right side. Got a good hold of the baseball there, but just out of play, and count runs even once more. And like you said, demoralizing for the BobCats if the BlueCaps can keep racking up this lead. 2-2 pitch, checks his swing, and he went around for strike 3, and second strikeout in a row for Tommy Burke after giving up a walk and then a 2-shot home run. Bouncing back. Trey Schilling will step in to the batter's box, the right-handed batter's box. Taps the plate twice with his bat, rounds it to his shoulders. Tommy Burke gets into his stance, kicks and fires. First pitch, top half of the zone for strike 1. Schilling 1 for 3 in the night. Reached base on an error in the 6th inning. An error that popped up in Sham Mitri's glove and then fell right out. Second pitch is low and outside, gets out of the hands and behind the catcher for ball 2. Quickly 2-0 count to Schilling. A 2-0 pitch is popped up in the left center field, gets behind the shortstop. Shortstop and Drew Stevens tries to get up and catch that one, but way out of the reach of him. And Trey Schilling will have a single. This inning will not come to a close here for the BobCats.
Second single of the day as well for Schilling. Prolong the inning. I mean, just keep pouring it on. Take every ounce out of the Bobcats that you can going into that bottom half of the 7th.
Replacing Austin Lucas as the designated hitter for the BlueCaps will be Josh Eisfelder. First pitch hits him in the lower half of his body. And just like that, a runner once more in scoring position for the BlueCaps as Josh Eisfelder rotates over. Trey Schilling to second. He'll take his spot at first, and Eisfelder comes into the game, gets hit by the baseball, and already making an impact for the team.
This isn't baseball related, but I want to give props to Josh Eisfelder. That was an unbelievable walk-up song. He came up to Ice Ice Baby, which is an unbelievable choice considering your last name is Eisfelder.
Eisfelder, a guy, local, went to school at my high school, same class as me. 0-1 pitch to Griffin Meeker. We're once again rotating the order for the BlueCaps. Fouled behind for strike 2. A guy, Griffin Meeker, was the first home run of the game. First of 2 for the BlueCaps. First home run in the season for the shortstop this evening. 0-2 pitch, checks his swing and went over for strike 3. And no damage. Will be more done. But 2 score for the BlueCaps. 10-1 is the lead now. Bobcats have a half of an inning to prove that they're still the defending champions. Will they do it? We'll see. You're listening to KCL Baseball on No More Corn Belters YouTube. It's the final countdown for the Bobcats. First day, first playoffs of the 2026 KCL baseball season. Anthony Guerra will be the man to start it off. Try to rally the Bobcats. They have done it before, but this is a huge deficit that they're facing. 9-run deficit. First pitch that he sees, and Guerra watches it go past him for strike 1.
I want to go over here in the bottom of 7th what happens for the winning and losing teams as that pitch misses away. The winner will play the Ground Sloths, who were the winner in the first matchup today, and the loser will play the Flamingos, who were the loser in their matchup. As we know, double elimination gets you out of the playoffs. So whoever loses this one will be facing the Prairie Flamingos, and that is an elimination game. So a lot riding on that game.
Will be happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. right here on No More Corn Belters YouTube. You can catch that with some brilliant broadcasters in the booth. Not sure who will be there, but I'm sure they'll be amazing.
We shall see. We'll see.
Guerra's count runs up to 2-2. Billups kicks in. 2-2 pitch low and outside, or inside, excuse me, for ball 3 count. Full. Billups working quickly here, trying to end this one off. 3-2 pitch, grounded on the third base line, but fouled. We'll do it again. 3 outs away is the BlueCaps, showing dominance, to say the least, in the first day of KCL playoffs. Is best thing you can do. 3-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3, and Billups 2 outs away from the W, and that's a way to kick off the bottom half of the 7th. A huge swing and a miss.
And there's a new pitcher over the half. It's going to be Reed Frazier on the mound picking up that first strikeout, coming in to close things out for the BlueCaps.
Reed Frazier trying to go home quickly here as he'll face Kyler Lapp in his second batter faced.
Frazier came into the inning with 6 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 2 earned runs in those 6 2/3, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts.
Frazier's 0-1 pitch to Lapp, slow and bounces off the ground for ball 1. The guy in Kyler Lapp, 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the first inning, but hasn't had a lot of action since. Third pitch you see is out of the zone for ball 2. 2-1 pitch. Top half of the zone for strike 2. Kent runs even once more at 2.
And if you're Frazier, 2-2 count, you have 1 out, 9-run cushion, go right at him.
2-2 pitch, grounded softly to the shortstop, and Meeker throws it over to first. And Greamy squeezes it for the first out, or the second out of the inning, excuse me.
Let's not be mistaken, that was not an easy play. Little chopper right over to Meeker. He had to glove it and throw it on the run. Made an accurate throw over to Greamy.
The center fielder this evening, and Caleb Hagman, will try to keep it pushing for the Bobcats. He will be the third hitter faced. And Frazier, the first pitch that he sees is up and away for ball 1. One-zero pitch as Frazier works quickly. Swings on it and misses for the first strike. Frazier gets into his stance. 1-1 pitch low for ball 2. There's a huge moth in the press box. Caught my eye right away. Luckily, it is not a wasp, as we did have a wasp
We
nest.
did have wasps up in the little crevice up there we were putting our cords through. So when we were trying to fix our camera, that was a nice surprise.
2-2 pitch clips the right half of the zone for strike 3. And that will be the third out in the final play, final everything. The BlueCaps are victorious. 10-1 victory, dominant performance, asserting dominance is what they did here tonight. The BlueCaps, last in the league, beat the first team in the league. And that is how you end a 3-game losing streak. But for the Bobcats, it's a 5-game losing streak. They're on a cold streak, to say the least.
It's going to take something, right? I mean, you come in against the team that is last place. Let's not discredit what the BlueCaps just did. First of all, I'll talk about them in a second. But for the Bobcats, got to find something in that locker room. A lot of people with their heads down right now. You were the best team in the league. Everything going. You were running away with the regular season. You come in to this game a little flat, and you pay the price of it against a team that you probably, on paper, should beat. But going over to the BlueCaps, if anybody had any doubt in their mind coming to the ballpark about playing the best team in the league and maybe if they had a chance, immediately within a couple innings, that doubt was wiped out of every BlueCap as they pour it on. 10 runs on offense, but it didn't just get done on the offensive side, the pitching side. Great job by Rose, Billups, and Frazier to shut the door. They held the best offense in the KCL to 6 hits and 1 run. And just incredible work all around for the BlueCaps. And that team, everyone understands that the BlueCaps were in last place coming to this game. But that team who gets a taste of victory, you beat the best team in the league, that team is one of the most dangerous teams that you can come across. and the Ground Sloths are going to have their hands full with these Blue Caps when they come across them.
They are indeed, and the playoffs are just getting started for KCL. As we mentioned, tomorrow at 5 p.m. at the exact same time, the Blue Caps will be facing the Ground Sloths, and the Bobcats will be facing the Prairie Flamingos, who were victorious earlier this evening. It will be a doubleheader once more. Until then, anything you want to say, Braden?
No, I would just like to reiterate that the Blue Caps, if I was any team in the KCL right now, the one I'd be most scared of right now is the Blue Caps. Doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. They get a win against the best team in the league. They now feel like they can beat anybody. So that is a dangerous team. They're riding really high right now.
It is a dangerous team, and when we first picked teams as broadcasters to win it all, I chose the Prairie Flamingos, and I'm not going to lie, I might have to switch up and choose the Blue Caps. I'm not, they're last in the league, so you can't say, all that. But this victory made me realize this team is something special when they have it together.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their wins, they didn't have a lot of wins, but the wins that they had were dominant. The second time, they almost run-ruled the defending champions. And they got it done tonight in every single way possible on offense, on defense, hitting, pitching. They were 100% complete tonight and riding a lot of momentum going in tomorrow. Until then, though, Taylor Hamler and Braden Hartman signing off. We'll catch you guys tomorrow evening.